Here with head coach Mike Dee after the Flames split a Friday doubleheader, taking game one 13-6 before dropping the second game by an 8-5 margin. Coach, just overall thoughts on the pair of games today?
Well, I think it's kind of been indicative of our season in that we have been unable on a consistent basis to do all three things well in one game: pitch, play defense, and hit. Earlier in the year, we struggled at the plate. That has improved dramatically. I feel really good about where our offense is right now. I think it's been consistent. It's been productive. I thought Ryan and Tanner in the second game pitched very, very well. We had the injury with Christian in the first game, and then I thought Fred came in and did a terrific job. So, those parts were great, but the second game, not to take anything away from Northern Kentucky, because they swung the bat and they held us down offensively. But we should have won that game with 5 runs because of the defensive mistakes that we made that handed them what we handed them. The double play ball that we screw up, we're out of that inning without giving up any runs at all. And before you know it, a team that's as offensive as they are, you give them, I think we gave them 2 extra chances in that inning. They scored, 4 runs, I believe, in that inning. So the good news is that I am convinced that the players that we have out there are talented enough. I just don't have an explanation for why we're playing such sloppy defense. It's really a mystery right now because of all the time that we spend on it and the tradition that we've had here for years. And those 4 guys are seniors in the infield, So if we can get that fixed and we can retain where we're at on the mound and at the plate, I think we get a chance to be a very good team.
You talked about the offense, and back when we talked earlier in the year, the thing you were really harping on was quality at bats, that you wanted to see the guys take better quality at bats. And that 2-series road trip to Oakland and Youngstown State really seemed to be where the offense started to pick up double-digit runs, double-digit hits, carried into the first game last night and then the game today, and even into the second game. The home runs have happened, the extra base hits have happened, but it seemed to be a lot of timely hitting, a lot of hitting with runners in scoring position, a lot of hits with 2 outs. Was it more just this plate discipline that you were looking for that started to come to fruition, or what's kind of flipped that switch offensively?
Well, I think the quality at bat comes from 2 things. I think it comes from staying in the strike zone, which actually, even earlier in the year, I thought we were doing a good job of that. I don't think we've chased a lot of pitches out of the zone, at least on a consistent basis. What was frustrating for us was our lack of aggressiveness and being ready to hit. We took too many strikes, and we did some stuff to kind of force that issue in practice, and they've kind of latched onto that now. And so even when we're taking, you can tell they were ready to hit that pitch. They just decided not to, where the takes that we were getting before were so passive it almost appeared as if they had predetermined they weren't going to swing. And there is a difference there. So I think we've had a much more aggressive mindset, and as it is in sport, we've had because of that we've been more productive. Because we've been more productive, we're more relaxed, we're more confident, and it just kind of flows in that direction. But I feel good about where we're at offensively. I really do. It isn't an aberration. It's what I thought we could be. We just got to get the defense cleaned up.
You talked about the pitching, and Fred Gosbeth had come in kind of in an emergency situation after Christian goes down, throws 5 great innings, and then game 2 you talked about the pitching there. How are they able to be so effective against that Northern Kentucky lineup?
Well, to be honest, in those 2 cases, Tanner and Fred, those are 2 high velocity guys, and they came in and pretty much dominated what they were doing out there by throwing it over. And those two guys, when they've struggled, this year is when they aren't throwing it over. But they did that today, and they attacked the strike zone. I just thought they did a terrific job. They, in Fred's case, he held the game where we needed to be held, and Tanner, gave us a chance to win, but we had created such a gap there. It's hard to come back from that, especially late in the game.
Tanner had been a guy that had been your Sunday guy throughout the season, made a switch in the rotation, going with Chris Torres tomorrow. What have you seen out of Chris coming out of the bullpen, and what do you expect to see out of him if we're able to get the game in?
Well, I'm not sure. I mean, I hope I see what I've seen out of him in the bullpen. But there's a different challenge to starting. I think it's harder in some respects because you're going to pitch. You spend a week thinking about it, which is a mistake usually. And when you're in the bullpen, because you don't know, you come to the ballpark much more relaxed. You don't know if you're going to pitch that day or not. You have a lot less time to kind of get in your own head, so to speak. And I think you saw in Tanner today, even though he had one really good start for us out of the first 5 or 6 opportunities, by far today was the best that I've seen him pitch. And I really don't think it's a coincidence that he didn't know when he came here he was going to pitch, and he had probably 6 or 7, 10 minutes to get ready, and boom, he went out there and he just got after it. So I hope Chris simplifies what he's doing, and doesn't blow this thing out of proportion, and just, we've reminded him, hey, all we need you to do is go out and do what you've done in relief, and if you do that and give us 4 or 5 solid innings, we're going to be in good shape. We'll see.